Hi, everybody. What episode is this?
29.
29, and we're getting younger every day. 29. The most we've had viewers is like 100,000. I need you guys to start, promoting and Facebooking and sharing. You think I'm going to get up, get my hair and makeup done, and come over here and do all this for 100,000 people? Get with the program. I'm only kidding. I'm doing it just for you. Okay, so this week, oh my God, there's just so much gossip. Where should we start? All right, don't tune out, because I'm not going to criticize the person. I'm going to criticize the behavior. That's just your first tip. Buckle up. Okay, so Merriam-Webster Dictionary. What do you guys think the number one word that was looked up this week was? Nut job. It spiked 173,000 people, which was 750%. Because, someone we know said that the former FBI director, who's been a career person, a non-politician, a law enforcement person who apparently has impeccable integrity, according to everyone that's ever dealt with him, he was called a nut job and crazy by someone we know. So nut job became the word for the week. There you go. Now, you know what it means? It means they're mentally unbalanced and a crazy person. Sounds like projection to me. He had so whatever. There you go. Now, speaking of someone else maybe someone similar or the same person that we're not going to talk anything negative about, but this is just hilarious. So we don't know who ordered what, so we're not prejudging anyone. We just know what was ordered according to the White House manifest for the trip. This is what was ordered to go on the trip. I'm telling you, I was crying, I was laughing. Okay, ready? 10 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew, half chilled. 2 2-liter Coca-Colas, half chilled. 5 buckets of ice. 6 boxes of double-stuffed Oreos, unwrapped in stacks of rows of 8. I'm getting dizzy. Oh my God. 6 boxes of Keebler EL fudge cookies. 3 EL fudge cookies. 3 microwaves. Do not, in all caps, plug in the microwaves. We will do this. I think those might be the microwaves that were accused of, spying? Anyway. 1 box of assorted candies, Airhead types. Oh, double entendre. 2 cartons of Kentucky Fried Chicken and paper napkins, and the napkins must be Kentucky Fried Chicken napkins. I guess they absorb more grease or something. Can you imagine? 1 tray of Kraft American cheese singles unwrapped. You talk about clogging your cholesterol. I mean, there is nothing. This is clogging every artery that's left. Maybe there's some up here getting clogged. 4 packs of Red Bull. Well, somebody should have done that before they had to take a nap and miss their appearance at Saudi Arabia and sent their Jewish daughter to the Saudi Arabian appearance. Oh, my goodness. 3 rosewood shoe horns. Well, you probably have gout. If you're eating all this, you'd need those shoe horns to get your shoes on. 3 gallons of buttermilk. Who has buttermilk anymore? My grandfather, who was 97 years old recently, is the only person I know that drinks buttermilk. 9 pounds of bacon uncooked. 9 pounds. 28 raw eggs. 2 pounds of chorizo. 12 loaves of sliced white bread. 6 sticks of butter. 8 Hungry Man fried chicken frozen dinner. My puppies eat that shit. 3 Sara Lee cherry pies. 5 Sara Lee apple pies. 4 tubs of Cool Whip. Oh my God. 2 extra large silk robes. Can add another 2 X's after the trip of this food. 3, 80-inch plasma TV must be Sony. Oh, I'm wondering if they have stock in Sony or something. And must iron the sheets. And apparently, according to an inside source, this is because certain people on the trip don't want to eat any foreign food. So they also loaded, in case of a backup, cases of frozen pizzas. Oh my God! Wait till Gay Dumb Politics podcast gets a hold of that. So then, they had what?
People were saying hello to you.
Hi.
Kentucky from Germany.
Speaking of Kentucky, look what they airlifted in when the president had to rest from exhaustion on his trip. Buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Remember low energy Jeb and Hillary who didn't have the stamina? Okay. Billy Bush finally breaks his silence according to Access Hollywood. He says that he should have changed the subject. Instead of just saying that it was locker room talk, and agreeing with that, he should have just changed the subject. He has not heard anything from Trump. He wouldn't want to interview him because it would be a spectacle. Oh, that'd be a shock. And so there you go. Now, Brandy Howard and Julie Goldman on Dumb Gay Politics, the 2 girls from the People's Couch, they are just so hilarious. They're on Then and Now right now, the Andy Cohen show Then and Now. I did it last year. We talked about Oliver North. We talked about, they talked about everything. I knew everything they brought up. Leona Helmsley, I said, I wrote her as a pen pal in jail. Oliver North, I sent him money. Everything they brought up, I knew everything about it. And so anyway, Brandy and Julie are on there now, called Then and Now, and they're discussing Tipper Gore and her censorship of, the words on those songs. Oh, Lord, times have changed. Now we're talking about things a little more serious than that. What's coming up on Broadway this year? Well, Michael Moore has a one-man play. You got to see that. Oh, if I was on the East Coast, I would do whatever to see that. He is so brilliant. And so if you can get tickets, it's only 1 month. I want to say the middle of June or July. And it's a one-man play, and he is so brilliant. So if you could get tickets, I doubt you can. Maybe if enough people ask, they'll extend it. Bette Midler is on Hello, Dolly. There was a review that said there will be those people that saw Hello, Dolly and the people that didn't see Hello, Dolly with Bette Midler. I'd love to see that. And Katy Perry is apparently being paid $25 million to be an American Idol judge. Well, that's a pretty big paycheck for judging, but I guess you could make that touring during the same time, but it's more work. And then my friend Frankie Grande right here. How cute is he? Frankie, Shine Bright Like Frankie. He was on Big Brother, and he's been on Broadway. He was in Mamma Mia for a few years, a singer, dancer, actor. He just released a song called Queen. It's on iTunes and YouTube, and you can get it. He was also in that play called Regent, I think it was, or Pageant. Oh my God, he's such a great actor. He's the one, remember, that was making a comedy about one of the people on the Housewives show, and then I got blamed for laughing about it. Oh, yawn. Desperate for a storyline. Oh, speaking of Frankie Grande, his sister Ariana, I'm sure you've all heard, during her concert, there was a bomb in Manchester, England, and several people were killed, 22 to be exact as of now, including an 8-year-old little girl, and apparently they're canceling the tour, and she's back in her childhood home with her grandmother and her mother, and I'm sure Frankie will be joining her, and poor thing. Poor thing. Fran, let's hear Fran.
So do you think Ariana Grande should have visited the injured after the concert instead of...
Oh, I don't know. I think it would have made it a spectacle. I did hear and see today that she agreed or offered to pay for the funeral of all the people that were killed. So I think she's just in shock and traumatized. I mean, she's 23 years old. So maybe if she were older and more mature, and maybe, but it would have just been more of a spectacle. Plus, security and safety, having to get out of there, and I'm sure just wanting to get out of there. But poor thing, all of them, sad for all of them. I was just crying listening to the news and watching the faces last night. Anderson Cooper had pictures of the different people and their stories. It was just so sad. This is why I don't like to go to those big crowdy events. Ask Jason how many times I say I'm not going, it's too many people. I don't want to. Last night I was supposed to go to a thing, there were 200 people. I said, no, there's too many people, I'm not going. If it's more than 2 people, or 3, meaning me, Roy, and Roy Jr., and then sometime I extend it to James and Jason, I'm not interested. Oh, in other news, a sea lion in British Columbia grabs this little girl by the butt and drags her into the water and splashes her. And so thank God someone was looking and they jumped in and got her right away, but she could have drowned because he pulled her all the way under the water. It reminded me, remember when that 4-year-old got through the thing and got to Harambe, the ape, and then they had to kill Harambe over it? I mean, I always tell my son, when you're at the street corner, you don't step on the corner, you stand back from the corner. What if someone swerves off the road, or they're texting, or they're not paying attention, which is one of my pet peeves, when these arrogant pedestrians walk across the street with their headsets on, and then they've got their BlackBerry or their iPhone or whatever, they're typing and reading, and they don't even look. They don't even look in one direction, they don't look in the other. They just walk across like everyone's supposed to stop for you. You're the only person in the universe. But in any event, so don't get too close to the cages. Don't get too close to the curbs. Be aware. Be responsible. Oh, this one makes me ill. Louis Aguirre, our friend Louis, from Inside, was it Inside, what was he on?
Insider.
And The Insider, and also Deco Drive. He tweeted this picture out, and the question is, are 2 heads better than 1? Apparently, the scientists are doing something to these rats to have them grow 2 heads. Oh, that made me so ill. I know people that could just use 1 head. Can you figure that out? And tragic news, this is a 20-year anniversary of Princess Diana. Wasn't she innocent back then? Poor thing. I watched both documentaries about her recently. This is her 20-year anniversary, and her brother, I remember after she died, we were in England, we went to Althorp, just to the burial, and her brother was there. And we spoke to him for, I'm telling you, 30, 40 minutes. Roy talked to him about everything under the sun. He wrote out these directions for how the next city we were going to. He signed this book that he'd written. I mean, it just couldn't have been lovelier. But I can't even believe that was 20 years ago that she died. That's just horrible. And she's buried in that beautiful Althorp. If you're ever in England, it's worth just touring. It's just part of history. On a lighter note, in the royal family, Pippa Middlestone, everyone's texting me. I guess I'm in trouble, probably. It's probably Obama tweeting me going, Leah, you're going to be audited soon if you don't shut up. Pippa Middlestone's wedding. Look at this. How beautiful was she? So classy and elegant. They're very classy, those girls. They're so cute. Okay, and their cute little husband, I'm sure he's super duper rich. Let's see how big's that diamond. You're hiding the ring behind the flowers. What's the point? You should put the flowers somewhere else, girl. I've got to train these girls on the jewelry thing. Kate was shushing the kids to tell them to shut up at the wedding. I thought that was kind of funny. It's like even when you're royalty, normal things happen. Let's see what else. Oh, Lord. Who's watching The Real Housewives of New York? I think we should call it the Barracudas. Have you ever seen so many women chasing so many men in so many places all at one time? Is there anybody on that show that's married? I guess there's just one, right? Luann. Then Dorinda's got a boyfriend. And then the rest, I guess, are single. Well, I mean, honestly, when you start giving girls, like Ramona's teaching the one girl how to pick up guys, the other one's training her Sonia's training her how to make a list of your priorities and don't get sidetracked. She calls the bowling eye guy, he's a waste of her time because he's just a bowler. Then Tinsley's making out with the guy she just met. She just meets the guy and they're sitting there tonguing each other. I'm like, times have changed. I mean, who does all this? And then And then Ramona starts moving in on Sonia's last boyfriend, apparently. I mean, it's so incestuous. I just, on and on and on. I mean, well, the smartest, most mature one there was Ramona's daughter, lecturing them, you know? And then there's all this conflict between Bethany and Ramona. One thing I've learned about Bethany, she'll get over stuff and she'll move on, but she won't trust you again. Yeah. And I'm the same way. I'll get over it. I'll be nice to you. I'll take the high road when you take the gutter. And but I don't trust you anymore. And I think that's where she is with, for whatever reason, Ramona. I'm not on a side about that. I haven't paid that close of attention. I mean, there are other things in the world besides these girls fighting. Then Bethany apparently apologized to Tom about, I guess, ratting him out for making out with another woman while he was getting married a month later. And he was very much a gentleman about it and just changed the subject. And I admire Bethany for just walking up and introducing the elephant in the room. So anyway, then I see them having the charity thing. They get all these beautiful things and no one's bidding. How many times have we been there, Jason? And then they bright idea to get all the pretty girls to go hit on all the rich guys to get them to bid. Honey, they must have been our charity. That's our formula. That's our model. We get the young, beautiful girls to go get all the rich guys to come in and spend all their money on the charity. That's called charity. That's what our foundation does. Oh my God, I could have given you that tip a long time ago. And then remember the lawsuit threat. The girl's going to threaten, she threatened if they put the tape on about her talking in the other one's ear. She was talking to Carol in Carol's ear, and she didn't want to be aired, but she had signed a release. So, of course, when she makes a lawsuit about it, now everyone's listening. What are they talking about? What do they have to say? It turns out it was nothing. It was the same old recycled gossip about she didn't really want to go to the wedding, and, you know, Luann was probably only getting married to avoid, you know, being embarrassed, and she'd rather get married now and get divorced later than call off the wedding. I mean, if that's the bombshell, I could give you a lot more gossip than that. I've got some deep throats around town. Then, on Atlanta, I still can't get over them firing Phaedra for the reasons that they did. I think you fire people, but I didn't agree with the reasons for firing people. Okay, whatever. Who am I? Radar Online says that Phaedra, they say that Phaedra wasn't being invited back because she refused to date on the show. I don't know if I believe that. They also said she was getting paid $1.3 million and she wasn't worth it now. That I might agree with, because what, $1.3 million for... I think that's a lot for doing that, but whatever, no matter who you are, especially when, it's all relative, but relevant, but whatever. Then apparently there was a photo of Vicky and Brooks from Orange County in Mexico. She says no, they weren't together, but it could have been an old photo, but people are saying that they're sneaking off together in Mexico. I kind of doubt it, but I don't know. And in good news for Candy Burroughs, the judge says that she can countersue the former assistant, Johnny, for slander, defamation of character, and disparaging her reputation in the lawsuit that he brought against her for overtime pay. So Jason, James, take note. You see, I went one complaint, not one. I will be countersuing in advance. If we went by hours here, what would we do? Oh my God, this is the office that doesn't sleep. 24/7. Okay, and airline news. Oh, you know, that's got me so fascinated, I guess, because I fly a lot. Did we lose it? It's back on? Okay. So in airline news, United is now going to offer up to $10,000 for a bumped seat. So now what I think is going to happen is everybody's going to be, I'll get off. Oh my God, me and my 4 dogs, I wouldn't get off for $10,000 unless they got me a private plane. Oxford says, in a study, a professor at Oxford says that on a plane, listen to this, if you eat everything they bring, okay, they bring the nuts, then they bring, you know, the hors d'oeuvres, and then they bring the dinner, and then they bring the cocktails and the drinks, and then they bring, you know, the dessert. If you eat the normal meal on a plane, it's 3,400 calories. Can you imagine? First of all, I couldn't eat all of that, and secondly, most of it I wouldn't touch, but 3,400 calories, that's double what people are supposed to have in an entire day. Oh, Lord.
So we have a comment about the OC.
What do they say?
Peter Gaffney says, Icky Vicky from OC should have been fired before Phaedra. Lying about cancer is much worse. Vicky is a pig. I wish you and Joanna would take over the OC.
Oh, Lord. Well, let's take this breakdown. One, lying is about cancer is worse than lying about what? About date rape. I think they're in the same category. I think that's in this category of lying about not being married for 5 years too. I put that in the same category. Yeah. What else did they say? They said that Icky Vicky. I don't think she's icky. I don't believe everything they say about her. Listen, let me tell you, you can make it on that show for 10 years with all that coming at you. Whew, that's a lot. She's got stamina. She didn't need to take a nap on her first day out on a trip. Then on airline news, American Airline. So this guy gets disrupted on Shanghai Airlines because he wants to be upgraded to first class and they won't upgrade him. So they kick him off the plane and it delayed the plane 3 hours. So because the plane was delayed 3 hours, they had to then stop in San Francisco to change crew because of the laws about how many hours airline stewardesses could fly. Well, it turns out that this guy had on a Make America Great hat again. You know, those red hats made in China. And so the passengers all started chanting, "Lock him up, lock him up." Now here's another story. Okay, so Orlando Bloom goes out to a restaurant and meets this girl, look at this, and hooks up with her and goes home and has sex with her all night, and she's a waitress and she gets fired from her job, and she goes, "Oh, it was worth it, the sex was so great, I don't mind being fired." What is going on in the world today? I just can't anymore. Oh my God. And a sad other news, Chris Cornell from the band Soundgarden, an audio slave, died at the age of 52 from an apparent suicide. His wife says he thinks it was from the Ativan medicine that he was taking. This is why I tell you, don't take all those drugs. Do not take all those drugs, because you take the wrong thing and mix it with the wrong thing, and then you're dead all of a sudden. Oh, Lord. Oh, at the Billboard Awards, Cher announces that her birthday was the day before and she was 71 years old. She's fabulous for 71 years old. Wait, I think I have a picture of her somewhere. Oh, look at this, her nude picture. It's 71. She's just fabulous. I love Cher. And she's saying, if I could turn back the time and believe, I think she was. And then in her speech, she said, well, you know, my mom always said I'm not the prettiest and I don't have the best voice, but there's just something about me. It's like, well, there you go. Okay, now, the next one at the Billboard Awards, Celine Dion, look at this dress. I mean, this and these diamond rings, and oh, Lord. This is a knockout. That was a standout performance, really. She knocked it out of the park, and that dress is just exquisite. She has the tall, lean body that can wear that. I love the fact she wore her hair up. It's so much more elegant. I love that diamond on the right hand. I wish I could see the one on the left hand. Apparently, she has to walk around the hotels with security guards. That's my kind of a life right there. I need security. I now got my diamonds on. Anyway, so isn't that beautiful? She's saying the heart must go on, but look at that dress. It's so pretty. Oh, Lord. Speaking of not pretty, these girls also showed at the Billboard Awards. So insignificant, I don't know their names. Okay, this one's got on a bra and jogging pants. I mean, this one's got on lacy, I don't know. I mean, this one's not bad. It's not bad. It's nice for a negligee to go to bed in. But now let's get over here. Look at this one. This one looks like she doesn't have a bra on. This is the same repeat of that one. And what's up with all the bows? Bow. I mean, really? Put a bow on the top of your head. Just call yourself the bow. I mean, really. And then she's got that Angelina pose where she's trying to stick that leg out. I mean, this is fine. This one for a garden party on a yacht, but not whatever. Those girls, they don't know how to dress anymore. I'll show you somebody who knows how to make a showstopper out of anything, and that's RuPaul. Look at this latest thing. You know how much time and money he has to put into dressing like this and putting all this stuff together? Isn't that fabulous? I mean, really, he's got this thing on his head, I don't know what it is, and all the stones and diamonds and the makeup and the earrings, and oh my God, and I learned from another drag queen, the way you keep those big earrings on is you have to glue them on. So you glue them on and hold them on, so when you have to take them off, you take the glue remover on there. Oh my God, well, if there's anything where, he's got the glitter on the nails. I mean, Frankie Grande would be jealous. If there's anything ever about glitter that I like, it'd be that big ring right there. I don't know, even if it's not real. Oh, speaking of, the most powerful passports. Did I tell you guys this before? I think it's just interesting. Remember how America used to be number one? The U.S. passport was the passport to have. Now it's Germany, then Sweden and Singapore, then the U.S. and the U.K., and then Japan, Portugal, Luxembourg, and Austria, then New Zealand, Canada, Ireland, and Malaysia, then Portugal and Australia. And Greece. We have slipped down to number 3. We're no longer like the world superpower. And the leader of the free world is now in Germany. Times have really changed. Who watched the Bernie Madoff thing? I watched it with Michelle Pfeiffer. She was really good in that, wasn't she? I thought she did really good. And what's his name who played the guy? Robert De Niro. He was good too, but he's always good. But it's called The Wizard. I watched it. But you know what struck me about that is how we prejudge people. I'll raise my hand. I do that too. But the sons and the wife really didn't know anything. And they were harassed and harassed and harassed, and their name was so beaten down. And then the one son winds up killing himself over it and leaves a baby in a crib and texts the wife to come get the baby. Oh, to me that was so heartbreaking. And then a few years later, the other son dies of cancer. And then Ruth, the wife, is running around delivering Wheels on Meals to people. I don't know if that's volunteer or they pay people, and living with her sister in a little tiny house in Boca. I mean, it's just awful. That whole thing happened, and so many people money was stolen from them. You know what? This woman that used to work for us in accounting used to always say, if someone tells you something's too good to be true, call the cops. And that's what it was with him. It was too good to be true. Celebrities' favorite snacks. Really quick. I just want to compare this to that first list. Miley Cyrus likes corn on the cob, David Beckham chicken and leek pie in a crusty pastry, Jimmy Kimmel pizza, America Ferrera toast with avocado and tomatoes, Kristen Bell grilled cheese, Tara Banks latte coffee, Sarah Jessica Parker fresh citrus. Me, I'd say chocolate covered almonds. What would you guys say? Oh, see, they don't even know. These guys don't eat. They're skin and bones. Okay. Things millennials will not spend money on. If you're in business, pay attention. They won't pay for TV. They don't make investments. They will not buy name brand beers. They'll buy the mass market beer, the craft non-named, says save money on the beer. And they won't spend money on cars. Speaking of, so RJ's turned 16. So I go, RJ, you better start studying for your driver's test. All your friends are studying for the driver's test. And he goes, oh, Mom, I'd rather have a driver. Really, RJ? Well, so would Mom. Get off your lazy butt. He's not lazy, but he's lazy about certain things. And they won't spend money on homes, weddings, or children. I guess they don't. That costs $260,000 to raise a kid, and I guess they just go get married down at town hall or something. Oh, I think that's kind of smart in a way. What else do you want to talk about? I'll save that for later. These are cocktail drinks for the summer. Oh, you don't want to encourage the drinking. Oh, thedirty.com published an article on me. The question was, should we read that, Jason? Pull it up. Not holding hands. Why was Melania not holding hands with Donald Trump? Pull it up. I'll read part of it. It's just hilarious what I said. And after I said it, and then the guy said, are you sure I can print that? I said, oh, sure. And then I read it. I was like, no wonder he asked me if he should print it. So this is what I think this was. Remember, everybody's asking what this ball and the earth and all that was? I think they were having a contest to see who has the biggest hands. Because, you know, some people are sensitive about their hands. But I don't know what that's about. But the look on Melania's face is like, what in the hell? I could be in New York right now. Don't forget to watch Dumb Gay Politics this week. It's going to be really good. By the way, Flynn, you guys are following politics, pleading the fifth right now. So there's going to be a big thing about that and whether or not they have to release his corporate records. There's a Biscuit. Is that how you say him? Biscuit? He sold his $110 million from Sotheby's, $110.5 million, sold to a Japanese collector, Yusako Miyazawa. Can you believe this was $110 million? If I couldn't wear it on my finger, I would never spend $110 million for it. And then the other one was the Liechtenstein went for $24 million. This one was called the nude sunbathing for $24 million. I don't see $24 million in this art. I guess, I don't know. Remember last year I showed you that horrible picture of RJ and Roy? Well, I found a better one. Well, should I read it or not? Should I read it, or is it just too bad? I mean, it's just awful. Well, oh, James, it's got to come up. Okay, this is what my interview said. Okay, you got to go to thedirty.com and you can read it for yourself. Well, it goes on about how fabulous I am and how you should watch my show, and that they caught up with me, and then what did I say about Melania not taking Donald's trip, holding his hand on the trip? And this is what I said. I was not surprised to see Melania slap his hand away, Black told us exclusively. Her first reaction was probably that he was trying to grab her by the pussy in public and then laugh about it. You know, the celebrity that he is. I think for years she's been living in a gilded cage and she simply cannot stand him. She's perfectly coiffed and takes good care of herself, and I think he probably repulses her now like he does many other women. Look at it like this, she continued. He's a glutton. He eats like nothing I've ever seen, with greasy fried chicken, Oreos, the tubs of ice cream, the steak with the ketchup, the greasy fries. Just imagine all that grease running down his face or on his hands. He wipes it away with those greasy Kentucky Fried Chicken napkins, and he must smell like a fast food restaurant. It's certainly not a Chanel No. 5 pleasantry. He has horrible crude manners. He's so rude to people. Oh, it just goes on and on. If you want to read it, go to thedirty.com, and you'll just see how my big mouth always gets me in trouble. Or not! My quote of the week. My quote of the week. You know I have my quotes every week. Character is what's left after the enthusiasm is gone. And what I mean by that is you get all excited about these projects, are all excited about this, whatever's going on, and then you drop the ball because you're not enthusiastic about it anymore and you don't follow through. So if you really want results in life, just remember character is what's left after the enthusiasm is gone. And I don't know this summer if we're going to be doing this lunch with Leah at the same time, or if we're going to be doing random places with Leah throughout the summer with the crazies I hang out with. So stay tuned next week, because it might be the last one until the summer, or it might just be the beginning. Thank you guys. We had fun. Little Black says bye. He's sleeping over here. Mwah. Bye. See you next Wednesday.